We are running through the top 5 stories at Comicbook.com and swiping right all day long for Valentine's Day. 7 p.m. Eastern time for Comic Book Now. Did you see that? We just got swiped right. We just got the swipe right. Happy Valentine's Day, Comic Book Nation. If you'll notice, we have Valentine's Day themes going on. We're celebrating. If you want to be a Valentine, let us. Look at, we even have a little candy CB heart in the corner. We love you guys. I'm Brandon Davis, call me BD. Joined by Charlie Ridgely this Tuesday afternoon,
What's
evening.
up? What's up?
Where you are. Charlie, what are you up to here?
I'm watching the comments. I got a wave for Brandon Ward and Reese Williams. You know you're the GOAT. You know it.
Reese, you are the GOAT. That stands for what?
Greatest of all time.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
Greatest of all time.
All right, well, let's get to the stories. Let's swipe right over here. Our top story of the day is Trouble for the Batman. Speaking of swiping right, this movie is not doing that with Ben Affleck. No match. Earlier this week, we were celebrating the fact that Matt Reeves was tapped to direct the upcoming standalone Batman movie. Now, though, the word is that Ben Affleck wants to be done with the role. Valentine's Day breakups. This comes from Collider's John Campea, who said in a video that 3 sources tell him Affleck wants out of the role. Of course, none of this is official, but whether or not it's true, it's not good news for the DC Films world. This type of buzz is not good. These movies are already in the hot seat after divisive releases in 2016, despite those movies being box office successes. And just before the word of Affleck stepping down as director became official, these same types of rumors were predicting it. What's most surprising, though, to me is how enthusiastic and confident Affleck appeared to be while speaking on the Justice League set. I mean, he was literally wearing the Batman costume, standing beside the Gotham City Police Department, and he said he's excited. He said he was directing the Batman, and he said it was going to be great when they got the script right. But for now, though, we will just have to wait and see what happens. Let's hope we get some good news for the Batman. Hopping over to Marvel, the world is starting to get excited for Avengers Infinity War. The first look video brought the perspectives of Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, and Chris Pratt from the set. But it may have actually brought more than that. It might have been a little more revealing than we thought. This image, which started the video, that first look video, might actually be the first glance at Infinity War's big battle sequence. Here's why. Not only is this going to be an adaptation of the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, which was slipped into that video with this little black and white screenshot, it had a climactic battle in the middle of the Marvel cosmos, and most importantly, this might be the follow-up to that Avengers Age of Ultron scene where the dream sequence with Tony Stark, he saw all of the Avengers super dead. You're looking at it right here. And writer Stephen McFeely revealed the ultimate goal for Thanos in these movies is to rebalance the universe as he sees it. Whatever that means, I'm sure it will court death. This next bit is not a trailer for War of the Planet of the Apes. It's actually Gorilla Grodd's return on CW's The Flash. Check this out.
A friend of ours is lost on a parallel Earth, and we're gonna go get him back.
A parallel Earth. Are you going to Planet of the Apes?
No, it's just a city of them. Welcome to the jungle, baby.
It's Planet of the Apes, isn't it?
No, calm down.
Who exactly is Grodd?
A giant telepathic ape with rage issues.
Harry's my friend. I'm not gonna just abandon him.
Indiana Jones much?
Chance to visit another dimension. Wasn't gonna miss that, was I?
We're not going sightseeing.
Neither am I.
Well, damn. It's a trap.
Welcome, Flash. Speedster versus Super Gorilla. Best worst video game ever.
The Flash, Gorilla City. 2-episode event begins Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
So, you remember when we were all freaking out about the news that Hulk and Thor would be throwing down in Thor Ragnarok later this year? Well, we have our first look at it now, so freak out all over again. We already knew Planet Hulk would be a factor, but as seen in this behind-the-scenes shot of CGI Hulk wielding his armor and weapons, it's pretty cool. The most exciting part, though, these concept art shots of the rematch between the Gamma Monster and the God of Thunder prove the hype is real. Check out Hulk's sword and axe. That dude is ready to go. What this is truly reminiscent of, though, is when Hulk was forced to fight the Silver Surfer in the Planet Hulk books. The nerds know what I'm talking about. We know Silver Surfer is not eligible for this film thanks to those rights issues we're showing extra love to on Valentine's Day. But Thor might be stepping in to finish that We're Friends line. I don't know. Thor Ragnarok, November 7th. Can't come soon enough. Finally, our 5th topic of the day. It's Deadpool 2. The sequel will include Domino, and as it turns out, the role will closely mirror the mercenary from Marvel Comics as her counterpart. With a casting call being spotted for females of all ethnicities from that hashtag show, props to them for finding it. The role has to come equipped with bulletproof sarcasm, but also a touch of vulnerability. Interesting qualities there, both mirroring the Marvel Comics counterpart. A short list seems to have popped up too, though, with Sienna Miller and Gugu Mbatha-Raw rumored to have passed on the role already, but Scandal's Kerry Washington is said to be screen testing for it. Not cast, but screen testing. This film is rumored for an early 2018 release date. Charlie, any picks for Domino? Who do you want to see in that role?
I hadn't thought about Kerry Washington until now.
And now you're like,
that's
oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
Like I'm all in on that. I was really high on Sienna Miller initially, and she played a different kind of Domino in a movie that wasn't quite as good. But Keira Knightley is my other one that I could definitely see kind of taking in that role.
I want to know what the comment section. This is one that's going to stir up a lot of controversy. What do you guys think of Anne Hathaway for Domino? What do you guys think? I'm just putting it out there.
I don't hate it.
But everyone, for some reason, I know our comment section is going to be like, no, shut up, stop it, you troll. I think Anne Hathaway might be a decent choice for Domino. I like Kerry Washington.
Think you're wrong.
I do like Kerry Washington. Now, before we turn it over to the comment section for questions, theories, speculations, and my Valentine, Scott Eastwood, it's Valentine's Day. We have a very special episode of Major Issues on this Tuesday. New episodes every Tuesday, Major Issues with Chris Killian. This week explores the very romantic and very weird wedding of Dr. Octopus and Aunt May. Check it out.
Romance is in the air, comic collectors, which is why today we've got the marriage of Aunt May and Dr. Octopus. Welcome to Major Issues, and today we're discussing the weirdest courtship in all of comics canon. That time Doc Ock tried to marry sweet old Aunt May, and it goes down right here in Amazing Spider-Man number 131. As you can see from the cover, Spider-Man is not happy. No, this wedding will not take place, but it will, Volcrawler, over your dead body. At least they're not gonna have the honeymoon over his dead body. The issue, written by Jerry Conway, is one of the weirder storylines in Spider-Man history. For starters, Aunt May seems to be completely oblivious to the fact that she's about to wed a supervillain, despite the fact that he's, an evil scientist with metal tentacles. Why are they attacking us? That man, he said he wanted to kidnap me. Why? What does it all mean? It means your fiance's a friggin' supervillain, May. Even when Doc Ock is being sweet, he still sounds hella evil. Forgive me, my dear. As always, I am besieged by enemies. Get this, dear lady of court, or I'll have your heart instead. My dear May, let me take you away from all this. I know. What's happening? Oh, it's nothing, May. Just a helicopter crash over a bunch of armed henchmen. Even after Spider-Man saves her, poor Aunt May just doesn't understand. Oh dear, you're that horrible Spider-Man. Where's Otto? What have you done with Otto? You guys go check out A Love for the Ages before Aunt May looked like Marissa Tomei. For ComicBook.com, I'm Chris Killian, and we'll see you next issue.
To watch Major Issues again, or maybe win yourself a copy of that issue, go find it on ComicBook.com, where we give away the issues and Major Issues, which is really cool. This is my favorite part of the show, the questions, the comments. We talk to you guys. I love talking with everybody. Charlie, what are the people talking about?
Well, we got a lot of people talking about Domino, a lot of people talking about Batman. Over here on Facebook, you guys are talking on Twitter, #CBNow. You're talking on YouTube Live right now. Shout out to the YouTube audience. Second day in a row, they're watching strong.
I'm not going to lie, I was actually kind of surprised that people were kind of behind the Anne Hathaway thing.
Did you just want to stir it up?
Well, no, I love starting fires on the internet, but the comment section seemed pretty supportive.
Over on YouTube, something I hadn't thought about before, I want to say Joven Flex, I hope I said that right. That user said, what about Mackenzie Davis as Domino, which I like *Halt and Catch Fire*, I liked *In the Martian*, I could totally see that. I really dig that. But let's see, over on Facebook, Zach Schmidt watches all the time. Thanks for watching, Zach. He wants to know what we are most looking forward to about the Black Panther movie.
I'll tell you, I think with this, it's kind of hard to pick just one thing, and it's not going to be a plot point or anything because we really don't know what's going on. I think the cast is something to really look forward to because this cast is fantastic. But I'm also looking forward to whatever their post-credit scene is because this movie is filming at the same time as Avengers Infinity War is filming.
You might be
in the same place.
The most perfect Marvel fan. Because you're like, hey, what do you want? The post-credit scene, I can't wait. Can't wait to get through the whole movie for the post-credits
Do
scene.
you guys disagree? Look, Black Panther, I'm very excited for Black Panther. I don't know enough about it to pick a story point. Like, I'm excited to see Ulysses Claw return, what's going to go on. We don't even know who the villain is yet, do we? So I'm excited to see this cast in action, but keep in mind, this movie is filming in the same place at the same time as Avengers Infinity War.
I'm going to go out here and say this, and I might get a lot of slack for it here. I'm way more excited for Black Panther than I am for Infinity War.
Oof.
It's an original story. It's something brand new characters, and dude, Michael B. Jordan.
That's all we have time for tonight, guys. Thanks for watching. That's fair. I mean, Black Panther is going to be in Avengers Infinity War, so why wouldn't you be excited for that? Anyway,
I'm excited.
that's fine.
All right.
You're wrong.
Over
That's
on
fine.
Twitter, like I said, #CBNow. We watch your comments. We will see them at some point. We'll try to feature them on this show. Josh Birch wants to know, and a lot of you guys have been talking about this in the comments today, if Ben Affleck does leave, which it's a big if, it's a rumor right now, nothing more. If Ben Affleck leaves the Batman movie, who would be the person to don the Batman suit next, to put it on, to don the suit?
I think what Josh is referring to is an actor. He wants to know what actor would play Batman, and I have choices for that. But I'm going with the character, and I'm going with Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson Batman in the DC Extended Universe would be really cool.
It would be really. I want to see Dick Grayson in the DCEU, but I don't want to see him as Batman because I want to see Dick Grayson. I want to see more
Batman
Dick Grayson.
R.I.P. Did you read it?
I did read it, but I've also read Titans. I've also read Nightwing. I want to see Dick Grayson in his own leadership role that is separate from Batman. I want him to maybe be featured in a Batman movie, maybe try out.
Well, let's
Batman
establish Dick Grayson, but let's kill the. If Ben Affleck doesn't want to do it, let's be bold and kill the Batman.
I
and
agree.
Have Dick Grayson step in.
I
The
agree.
Dark Knight Rises left off, right when Tim Drake was like, "Oh, I'll basically be Batman."
I am
'cause
100% with you. I just want to see it go to somebody else. I'd rather see a Tim Drake or somebody take over the mantle and let Nightwing be Nightwing. Let Dick Grayson interact with him.
I hope we get Nightwing.
And,
I really hope
let
we
him
get
be his
Nightwing.
own thing.
But we actually had this conversation earlier today. I want to know what you guys think. This is a really hot topic, the whole Batman thing. Are you on board with Dick Grayson, Batman? We actually called our moms earlier because we were like, what do average moviegoers think? Because our moms are, I mean, my mom loves this stuff, but I wouldn't call her a super nerd or anything. She's a super nerd mom, hi. But we said, do you even know who Batman's real name, who really is Batman? They both knew Bruce Wayne, but they both were like, oh yeah, Robin becoming Batman would be really cool.
I think all the moms but one were all down for
Shout out
Robin.
out to our head of video,
Shout out to
Jeff
the moms
Bell's
and
mom,
Jeff
who
Bell.
was not on board. All right, what's next?
All right, let's see what we got over here. Dylan Flickinger on Facebook. Dylan wants to know, Walking Dead question, will Aaron be the next to go before the end of this season?
You know, I don't think so. I think Aaron is going to survive season 7. I think the next big one to go is Sasha.
I agree.
But Aaron is one of those characters who they could surprise you and kill him because you don't expect them to surprise you with a Daryl, a Carol, a Rick, a Carl, those type of characters going. I could see an Aaron who's quickly rising and becoming a more important and more fan-favorited character being killed off when we don't expect it because it didn't happen in the comics.
Right.
We saw Herschel and Tyrese's death get swapped. We've seen stuff like that on the show before. I could totally see that. Denise went out way earlier.
Yeah.
She got Abraham's death.
I see what
Aaron
you're
is
saying.
one of those characters who could get that. I don't think it'll happen in season 7.
I don't.
He's one who could get that treatment, though.
I disagree. I agree with the point you're making. I think that they could pull the wool over our eyes and throw a twist in there like that, and Aaron is the right guy to do that. But I think the direction that Ross Marquand has taken the character is really taking this bold leadership role over the next couple of seasons. I really think we're going to see Aaron in a position of leadership alongside Rick. We're going to see him be more important than he was in the comics, and I think to do that, I think they're going to kill off Eric.
You know who was going to be a leader? Shane. You know who was going to be a leader? Herschel.
They were leaders.
R.I.P.
They were leaders before they left.
They both were.
I'm just saying, I think killing Eric serves more of a purpose for the story. I don't want to see Eric go either.
I think
I love Jordan Woods Robinson.
I mean, I'm on board with you. I think Aaron survives, but I'm just saying, I think he's one of those characters who they could surprise.
I see what you're saying.
Same with Father Gabriel. He's another character who is quickly rising and becoming more prominent.
Father
Tara.
Gabriel.
Tara is becoming really important too. One of these characters who isn't, let's say they're not top tier. They're not Rick, Daryl, Carol, Ezekiel level. They're right there beneath them. They are the ones who get killed off when you don't expect it, just like Denise.
I agree, but I don't know. I think Tara's been cool from the start. I think that Gabriel will be sacrificial at some point over the next year and a half.
I think Tara's going to have a huge leadership moment in the back half of season 7. Huge leadership
I can get behind that. I think she's really coming into her own, and she's really grown from when we saw her with the governor in season 3 and 4, and then now who she's become.
And then the fist bump with Rick was really cool.
Yeah, it was good. All right, one of our loyal followers on Twitter, Whim Sad Mojo, wants to know who is Aisha and how powerful is she in Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Well, Aisha's super powerful. She has just about like every superhero, supervillain ability you can have almost. But in the comics, she goes by her for a while, and she was getting it on with Adam Warlock. So we don't really know what the role is going to be in Guardians just yet, but you can definitely pull from those details of the comics.
Yeah, I think that they're going to take her in a little different direction.
I don't think we're going to have Adam Warlock yet. Maybe we're going to have that where Adam Warlock already exists, and
we know he already exists.
Well, right, but maybe she has encountered Adam Warlock in the past in the MCU
Okay,
prior
I
to
see
Guardians
what you're
Volume 2,
saying.
and we're just going to discover that later.
I see what you're saying. On Facebook, Carolina was jumping into our conversation. She thinks maybe Dwight could be the next to go. I disagree. I think Dwight's going to be one of the most important characters going forward.
Dwight's another one we expect to stick around because of the comics, and Simon doesn't exist in the comics, so there could be a swap. I don't think so.
I don't know. I think he's too important. And Craig Filbert, you are the man. Charlie Hunnam as Adam Warlock. I love it.
Oh my
I love
God.
it. Charlie Hunnam's like my Scott Eastwood.
You just became
I'll
best
take it.
friends. He loves. Let's get
I'll
our
take
last
it.
question.
I'll take it. All right, last question here. Let's see. Lucas Severson, loyal viewer Lucas Severson, wants to know if we think there will be an epic fight between Drax and Thanos in Infinity War. We know Drax is on the warpath. He wants to take out Thanos himself.
I think there will be a fight scene where they throw down. There will be a more epic fight with Groot and the Hulk, that's for sure. But I don't know how often Drax is going to get Thanos one-on-one. It's going to take all. If he did, he'd just be dead.
I think he's going to get it once, like he did in Guardians with
Ronan.
and I think he's going to lose bad.
Just like he did with Ronan.
Absolutely.
Which is cool because I think Drax should get his shot. Everyone is
Follow up,
going to get their shot.
could Drax die in Infinity War if he tries to take on Thanos?
I think a lot of people are going to die in Infinity War.
I think it's a possibility.
A lot of people. But then you never know what the Gauntlet's going to do. Anyway, that's all we have time for today, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. If you guys want to talk more or just ask us to be your Valentine's, hit us up on Twitter at Charlie Ridgely, at Brandon Davis PD. I know that's not going to happen, but it's wishful thinking. Swipe right. We'll see you later tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Comic Book Now.